Okay, now we're ready to start programming our microbit. To program our microbit, we're going to use Microsoft MakeCode to create our program. MakeCode is an online tool. Now, from our class page, I'm going to scroll down here. I've got some links specifically for microbit. There's one here with a reference to the code. It's just basically showing you what code commands and things that you have here. There's one here that gives you a reference to the hardware, a bit of an overview of what's on the hardware like buttons, other sensors, output devices, things like that. And then we've got the Microsoft MakeCode for microbit. Expect more links to appear here later, but that's all there is for the moment. We're going to click the Microsoft MakeCode link. Now, this opens up basically at a page with a banner at the top. It's got my projects along here, and then it's got tutorial project, it's got live coding, other games and sample programs all over the place. We're basically going to just be creating our own programs. So we're going to start off with creating a new project, and that takes us to the interface screen, which actually is for programming the microbit. And there's, as you can see, there's a little picture of a microbit over here, which is actually an online simulator of the microbit, which is really good because that means we can program this microbit without needing to have one in our hands at the time. We can later, if we get back to school, program our microbits at school as well, using the programs we create here. So this is our simulator, and I'll explain some of the buttons on this. This is the start button. It's currently in stop mode, and so if we've got our program and we want it to run, we can press the play button. This is our reset button. It basically starts the program back from the beginning. Especially good if we've got ourselves caught in some sort of weird programming bug. This is the slow-mo button, which helps slow our code down so we can watch what's happening to the device and our code at the same time. This is the audio button. Actually, you can mute the audio or you can add audio to it using that button. And this is launching the full screen mode. There's also buttons up here, which is the A button and the B button. There's also a shake light that will come on here. If we use shake in our program, then we can actually shake it by moving our mouse, and you'll see the little microbit tilt, and it will actually send the shaking signal through to the program. It'll actually activate the shaking sensor. Also down the bottom here, we've got download. This is actually to download the program ready to actually load onto our microbit. And we've got a box here, which is our file name, so we can save our file name there. And we've got our standard undo and redo buttons, and we've got a zoom to zoom in and out of the screen. So if things are starting to get a bit big, we can take a zoom out and see the big picture. Or we can zoom in on small bits to actually see what's going on. And we've basically got down the middle here all our commands. Now all our commands are hidden in a way in categories. So if we wanted to get something out of the input category, I click input and I can see all the different input items. If I want to get something out of the basic category, I can pick basic, and I've got a little bit of a scroll there because it's going over the screen. And again, music, LEDs, radio, loops, variables, maths, and even more stuff down in advance. So that's what we've got there at the moment. Okay. Now, we're going to make a really simple program to start with, and we're going to use these on-event type coding. On-event coding, I don't really like using on-event coding, but it is the simplest way to do it. So we're going to actually start with the simplest way. And we're not going to use on-start or forever at this point in time. So I'm going to get rid of those, delete that one, and I'm going to delete that one. So now I've got a completely blank area here where my program goes. And what I'm actually going to do is when I press the button, I want something to be written on the screen. Now this is very similar to the first task that you're going to start with. So I'm kind of giving you all the tips on how to get it to work. So we're going to use an input which we talked before about on button. on button means that on the button event, whenever this button is pressed, it's going to cause this event to run. Now, it's currently set at A. I could change that to be A, B, or A and B together. I'm just going to leave it at A for the moment. Then I'm going to use, in my basic command, I've got a special shortcut command that says show string. And basically what show string does is it runs whatever I write in here through the array of LEDs. So this is basically going to cause hello to flash across the screen of LEDs here, the array of 5 by 5. So it's actually should be already running. So I don't have the play button there, I've got the stop button there, so it is currently running. So all I need to really do now for this program to work is actually press the A button. Press that, and now hello runs across the screen. It's quite simple. That's all there was to it. I've made my first little program getting it to say hello with 2 little blocks of code, and that's all it was. So that makes it quite easy using these on event commands, even though I don't really like to use them. One of the reasons why I don't like to use them is that when we're coding in normal sort of text-based coding, we tend to not use on events like this. We tend to actually have to make the on event happen ourselves, but we'll talk about that a bit later. For today, we're just going to give a go using this. So I want it to write something different when I shake it. So what can I put in there? I'm going to go hello, and then instead of writing hello, I'm going to say my name is Mr. Walsh. Okay, so that's the string it's going to play when I shake it. So if I press A, it's going to say hello. And then when I shake it, it should kick off there we go, my name is Mr. Walsh. And trust me to pick something really long to actually write there in a demonstration. So that's basically our first part of our code running. Now we need to kind of save our code. So I'm going to put a name here to say, I'm going to call it my name code. My name code. Actually, I'm going to call it my name badge, even though it says hello. Okay, my name badge, and I'm pressing the little save button next to it, or the little save icon next to it. We saw it save. It's actually, no, I've somehow downloaded it, have I? So now if I go back to my home screen, I can see the my name badge code right here. So that's the one I ran. Now I'm not sure how this works. I think these codes belong to your computer, so it'll be the ones that you've used your computer for. I didn't have to log in, so I'm assuming that the code actually will just be on my laptop. If I use a different computer, it won't be there. Now that's basically it. My first program is done.